Your arteries are one of the most important systems in your entire body, but most people never think about them until something goes wrong. Every second of every day, your arteries are working silently in the background, carrying oxygen-rich blood from your heart to every part of your body. Your brain depends on it. Your muscles depend on it. Even your smallest cells depend on it. Without healthy arteries, nothing functions properly. Your energy drops. Your focus weakens. Your heart has to work harder than it should. And over time, this puts you at serious risk. Now here's the problem. Most people don't notice when their arteries start getting damaged because it doesn't happen suddenly. It happens slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. This condition is known as atherosclerosis, when plaque begins to build up inside your arteries. This plaque is made up of cholesterol, fat, calcium, and other substances that stick to the artery walls. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but over time, this buildup narrows your arteries. It restricts blood flow, and it forces your heart to work harder just to pump blood through your body. And the most dangerous part, you might not feel anything at all. No pain, no warning signs, until one day it becomes serious. That's why heart attacks and strokes often seem to come out of nowhere. But in reality, the damage has been building for years. Before we go any further, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. If you have any health conditions or are currently taking medication, please consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. Now here's the good news. While certain foods and lifestyle habits can damage your arteries, there are also foods that can help protect them, support them, and even improve how they function over time. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on. Not complicated diets, not expensive supplements, just simple everyday foods that can make a real difference. Let's start with the first one, flax seeds. Flax seeds may be small in size, but they are incredibly powerful when it comes to heart health. They are rich in fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and plant compounds that directly support your cardiovascular system. Now here's why that matters. One of the biggest contributors to clogged arteries is high levels of LDL cholesterol, often referred to as bad cholesterol. When this cholesterol builds up in your bloodstream, it sticks to the walls of your arteries. Over time, it forms plaque, and that plaque slowly blocks your blood flow. Flax seeds help reduce this process. The fiber in flax seeds binds to cholesterol and helps remove it from your body. At the same time, the omega-3 fatty acids help reduce inflammation, which is another key factor in artery damage. And when inflammation decreases, your blood vessels stay more flexible and healthy. This means better circulation, lower blood pressure, and reduced risk of clot formation. And the best part, you don't need large amounts. Just 1 to 2 teaspoons a day can make a difference. You can add them to your smoothie, sprinkle them over oatmeal, or mix them into yogurt. Simple habit, powerful long-term effect. Now let's move to the next one. Green tea. Green tea is one of the most studied beverages in the world when it comes to heart health, and there's a reason for that. It's loaded with powerful antioxidants known as polyphenols. These compounds help protect your blood vessels from damage. They reduce inflammation, and they improve the function of your arteries. Think of it like this. Every day your blood vessels are exposed to stress from diet, lifestyle, and environmental factors. Over time, this stress can weaken them, but the antioxidants in green tea act like a protective shield. They help repair damage and keep your blood vessels functioning properly. In fact, studies have shown that people who drink green tea regularly have a lower risk of heart disease and stroke. Some studies even suggest up to a 20% reduction in risk. And again, this doesn't require extreme effort. Just 1 or 2 cups a day. That's it. A simple daily habit that supports your heart over time. Now let's move forward. The next food we need to talk about is something most people already know, but don't fully understand. Walnuts. At first glance, walnuts just seem like another type of nut. But when it comes to your arteries, they play a very important role. Here's something most people don't realize. Whenever you eat a meal that is high in unhealthy fats, especially saturated fats, your arteries actually go through temporary stress. They become less flexible, they tighten slightly, and their ability to expand is reduced. Now imagine this happening again and again over time, meal after meal, day after day. This repeated stress slowly damages your blood vessels. It makes them stiff. And stiff arteries are one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease. This is where walnuts come in. Walnuts are rich in healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, along with antioxidants and essential nutrients that support your blood vessels. What makes them unique is their ability to reduce the damage caused by unhealthy meals. Studies have shown that when walnuts are eaten alongside high-fat meals, they actually help protect your arteries from becoming stiff. They don't completely cancel out the effects of unhealthy food, but they significantly reduce the damage. Think of them as a protective layer for your cardiovascular system, and over time, this protection adds up, helping your arteries stay flexible, healthy, and functional. You don't need a large quantity. Just a small handful per day is enough. You can eat them as a snack, add them to salads, or include them in your meals. Simple, practical, and effective. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful foods for circulation. Beets. Beets might not be everyone's favorite, but when it comes to your arteries, they are incredibly effective. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, and when you eat them, your body converts these nitrates into something called nitric oxide. Now you don't need to remember the name. Just understand what it does. Nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax and widen. And when your blood vessels widen, blood flows more easily. This reduces blood pressure, improves circulation, and decreases the workload on your heart. Now here's something important. Inflammation in your body can reduce nitric oxide levels, which means your blood vessels lose their ability to relax properly. This leads to poor circulation and higher blood pressure. But foods like beets help restore this balance. They boost nitric oxide production naturally. And this has been directly linked to improved cardiovascular health. In fact, research has shown that people who consume nitrate-rich foods regularly have a lower risk of heart-related problems. You can eat beets in different ways: roasted, boiled, in salads, or even as juice. Even a small serving can have noticeable benefits over time. Now let's move to another powerful category: fish. Especially fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3s are essential for heart health. One of their most important roles is reducing inflammation inside your blood vessels. As we discussed earlier, inflammation is one of the main causes of artery damage. It contributes to plaque buildup, and it reduces the flexibility of your arteries. Omega-3 fatty acids help counter this. They reduce inflammation, they improve blood flow, and they help prevent plaque from sticking to the walls of your arteries. There's also another important effect. Omega-3s reduce something called cellular adhesion. This simply means fewer particles stick to your artery walls. And when fewer particles stick, less plaque forms. And less plaque means better blood flow and lower risk of blockages. Regular consumption of fish has been linked to a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular conditions. You don't need to eat fish every day. Even 2-3 times per week can make a significant difference. Now, if you look at what we've covered so far, you'll start to notice a pattern. These foods are not working in isolation. They're working together. Some reduce cholesterol, some improve blood flow, some reduce inflammation, and together they create a powerful effect on your arteries. Now let's continue with another powerful group of foods, starting with beans. Beans are one of the most underrated foods when it comes to heart health. Simple, affordable, easily available, but incredibly effective. Beans are rich in dietary fiber, and fiber plays a major role in protecting your arteries. Here's how. When you eat foods high in fiber, it helps reduce levels of LDL cholesterol. the bad cholesterol that contributes to plaque buildup. Fiber binds to cholesterol in your digestive system and helps remove it from your body before it can enter your bloodstream. Less cholesterol in your blood means less plaque forming inside your arteries. But that's not all. Beans also help regulate blood sugar levels and support healthy blood pressure, and both of these factors are directly linked to artery health. Studies have shown that people who consume beans regularly tend to have lower cholesterol levels and a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease. The best part, they're easy to include in your meals. You can add them to salads, soups, rice dishes, or even eat them on their own. Simple food, powerful protection. Now let's talk about citrus fruits. Oranges, lemons, grapefruits. These fruits are not just refreshing. They are incredibly beneficial for your arteries. Citrus fruits are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But the most important compounds they contain are flavonoids. Flavonoids help reduce inflammation inside your blood vessels. They also fight free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your cells and contribute to plaque buildup. When you reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, your blood vessels stay healthier. They remain flexible, and they function more efficiently. This leads to better circulation and lower risk of heart-related problems. In fact, research has linked regular consumption of citrus fruits to a lower risk of stroke and cardiovascular disease. Even something as simple as adding a glass of fresh orange juice or including citrus in your diet can make a difference over time. Now let's move to spices, starting with turmeric. Turmeric is a bright yellow spice commonly used in cooking, especially in South Asian cuisine. But beyond its flavor, it has powerful health benefits. The key compound in turmeric is curcumin. Curcumin has strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It helps prevent fatty deposits from forming inside your arteries. It reduces inflammation, and it supports overall blood vessel health. Over time, this helps reduce the risk of atherosclerosis, the condition we discussed earlier where plaque builds up in the arteries. Turmeric works quietly. It doesn't create instant changes, but with consistent use, it supports long-term health. Next, cinnamon. Cinnamon is another powerful spice that supports your cardiovascular system. It helps lower blood sugar levels. It reduces LDL cholesterol, and it lowers triglycerides, another type of fat in your blood. All of these factors contribute to better artery health. Even small amounts can be effective. Studies have shown that as little as half a teaspoon per day can improve these markers. You can add cinnamon to your tea, coffee, oatmeal, or smoothies. Easy to use, highly effective. Now let's talk about oats. Oats are one of the best foods you can eat for your heart. They are rich in soluble fiber, especially a type called beta-glucan. This fiber helps lower cholesterol levels. It reduces inflammation, and it helps prevent plaque buildup in your arteries. But here's the problem. Most people don't get enough fiber in their diet, and that's a major issue because low fiber intake is linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. Adding oats to your daily routine is one of the simplest ways to fix this. A bowl of oatmeal in the morning can go a long way in supporting your cardiovascular health. Now let's take a step back. You've seen the pattern. These foods are not random. Each one plays a specific role. Some reduce cholesterol. Some improve blood flow. Some reduce inflammation. And together, they create a strong defense system for your arteries. But there's one more important piece: what you avoid. Because no matter how many healthy foods you add, if your diet is still full of harmful foods, the damage continues. Foods high in saturated fat, trans fats, and excess sugar can accelerate plaque buildup. These include processed foods, fried foods, sugary drinks, high-fat dairy, and fatty cuts of meat. These foods may taste good in the moment, but over time they harm your cardiovascular system. So what's the solution? Balance. You don't need perfection. You don't need to eliminate everything overnight. You just need to start making better choices. Add more of the foods we talked about. Reduce the ones that cause damage and stay consistent, because small changes repeated daily create powerful long-term results. At the end of the day, your arteries reflect your lifestyle, what you eat, how you live, and the choices you make every single day. And the good news, you have control over those choices. So start today, because sometimes protecting your heart doesn't require complicated solutions. It starts with simple food, and those simple choices can change your life.